Welcome to Lagniappe, a program about events, issues, and people. I'm Cory, Crowe. I'm joined today by Doyle Jeter, founder of the Northeast Louisiana Music Trail, and Christy Berry James is with us on the telephone from California this morning. Good morning and welcome.
Hello, Christy.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you for being with us, Christy. And we're talking today about a marker on the Northeast Louisiana Music Trail to your father, Richard Berry. And Doyle, how did this all come about?
Well, I'll try to make it quick, but basically Barry Stevens with the Arts Council told me, are you aware of the fact that the gentleman that wrote Louie was from Franklin Parish, an extension? And I had no idea. He got me together with Jack Daly. Jack is cousins with Kix Brooks. They sponsored the marker. It's one of the craziest stories you could ever hear, but it is meant to be.
This is marker number 17 on the trail, and Christy, you and the family are coming back. Your father was in Extension, Louisiana, and then moved off to California, and I believe that's where you grew up, right?
Yeah, I was born in California. I've never been to Louisiana.
You've never been, and you're coming back. This will be your first big trip in, and it's going to be a big rocking occasion from what I understand, Christy.
Oh, wow. I'm so excited and just so grateful to Mr. Jeter and the Northeast Louisiana Music Trail for this honor. It's just such an honor to have this from my dad after so many years.
This, the song Louie, it's a pretty simple song. It's 3 notes, and it's probably the most famous 3 notes in all of rock and roll.
Yeah, I keep hearing stories. That's how a lot of people learn how to play guitar.
I think that's definitely true. And Doyle, I think of all the markers you've done, this one may be one of the most significant as far as the history of rock and roll.
Well, that's true. And of course, this will be the 17th. Everybody that we've had markers for play a part of that. But in this case, Richard Berry was literally at the beginning of rock and roll. Early songs that he recorded with Etta James, the doo-wop bands he was involved in, direct links to people like Sister Rosetta Tharpe and the folks that coined the phrase rock and roll. Ike Turner played on very early recordings that Mr. Berry was involved in. Rocket 88, people say that was the first one. But yeah, I mean, it blows my mind, and did when I heard about it, that Mr. Berry was from Extension in Franklin Parish. But again, it's meant to be. Louisiana, there has been that quote. We use it quite a bit on these interviews. Somebody said they weren't sure, but they're almost positive that all music was invented in Louisiana.
I think if it's not, it's very close sometimes.
Mississippi, Louisiana.
Christy, tell me a little bit about your father. You grew up, and I heard the story that your father signed away the rights to Louie for $750. And so he didn't see the money as this song rose in popularity. That went to record companies and other people. But the story turns out happy in the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. He got his rights back in 1986. A company called Artist Rights contacted him, and that's how to negotiate the deal. And then after that, I mean, things started really turning around for him and in a positive way. So, but he was always happy no matter what. So that's all I can say.
Tell me about his life as a musician. After his big hit, did he work as a musician full time? Did he have other jobs? What did he do in those years where we don't see him in the public eye a lot?
Well, yeah, he did clubs. He did gigs like during the weekend, like after hours, places like Filthy McNasty's in the Valley and around the circuit. Then he would, sometimes travel up north to do a couple of gigs with certain people like Johnny Otis, and he did a lot of gigs with Don Julian and the Larks. So he was basically an after-hours cat. You start playing at 12 at night and you don't end till 6 in the morning.
That's when all the fun is happening, Christy. Your father also worked with Etta James. There's a connection there with you because you are Christy Berry James. Tell me a little bit about, real quick, your husband Donto and how that all fits in.
Well, we played together as kids, and then when we became teenagers and we hooked up again, and my dad and Etta, they would work a couple of clubs as well, and he ended up going to Brazil with her, and then that's how it all started. I mean, as teenagers we dated, and 30-something years later, now we're married.
It's
with 3 kids.
It's crazy though. Just the musical genes there is, from Etta James to Richard Berry. It's all in the family. And
Yeah.
Are your children musical as well?
They are musical. Yes, they are.
Well, that's great. Look, we look forward to having you back here in North Louisiana for your first trip. Doyle, talk about the event. The marker unveiling is this weekend.
It is. It's on a Sunday, which is a bit different for us, but it's going to be right after church service at the Locust Hill Baptist Church, Reverend Harris, in Extension, Louisiana, which is down, just Google it or go to our Facebook page, and it'll give you the directions, the address. You can Google map it. But the big thing, too, is we have a very special guest that's going to be performing, Doug Duffy, member of the National Blues Hall of Fame, who actually we can announce today he is our next recipient of a marker in May. He's going to be backed up in a couple of songs by the church choir. The real version of Louie, the best version, Richard Berry's original.
It's a whole lot of fun and been covered by a lot of people. Doyle, we've got 30 seconds left. Mm-hmm. Read me the marker real quick. What's it say?
Okay. Let me bring it up here. I'm so sorry. Richard Berry Jr., born Extension, Louisiana in 1935, best known as the composer and original performer of the rock classic Louie. Berry was a rhythm and blues, doo-wop, rock and roll pioneer. His work with the Flairs, the Robins, Etta James, the Pharaohs, and many others guarantee his place among music royalty, and that's the absolute truth.
Richard Berry, the marker, Sunday 1 to 3, Locust Hill Baptist Church in Extension, Louisiana. Christy Berry James and Doyle Jeter, our guest. Find out more about this on our website, KEDM.org. Thank you. This is